I'm going to share my story with you a little now. Stephen asked me to share. And I used to be really hesitant about sharing my story because it's kind of vanilla, and I was just always like, no one wants to hear that. It's kind of boring. But the thing that I have learned over the last several years is that God doesn't write boring stories, because at the end of the day, we're all sinners. And the fact that, he saved me through his grace is a story worth telling. So I grew up in church in settings a lot like this. Grew up with my parents serving and playing on worship teams, serving with students, things like that. And when I got to around middle school, we moved away to another state. I was thrown into new school with new friends and a new church environment, all of those things. And so while I had gotten saved at the age of 5, and I really believe that with all of my 5-year-old little heart, as much as I could understand sin, I understood a need for Jesus. But kind of getting into middle school, high school, teenage years, I started to really go like, okay, Lord, what does this mean? Like, is this faith really mine? Is it my parents? Like, what does that look like? And so God put some really cool women in my life. They were my small group leaders in church, and they just poured into me, and they showed me what it looked like to be a woman of faith, a woman who depends on Jesus, who loves his word and loves reading it and studying it. And so he just really, it completely changed my life. It changed my faith. It changed the way I walked that out. And so just a little shout out, if you serve with students or you've ever thought about it, it makes an impact and a difference, whether you realize it or not. And so, and those are women who still, they walk with me still today. They came to my bridal shower a couple months ago. They are going to be at my wedding. So it's huge. But anyways, fast forward a little, I had that kind of foundation through high school and into college, and I got kind of thrown into the ministry world, which was not something I ever expected, but God led me down that path. And so I started doing things like working at church and interning, and I served at a summer camp where we got to travel the country and share Jesus with kids in kind of a VBS type setting. But that summer, if you've ever done anything like that, it's exhausting work. You're kind of at the end of yourself. And I was always this very I knew the Lord is my strength, and I trusted him and depended on him. But I don't know. I was also very much, my identity was wrapped up in what I could do and what I could say, and look at all these things that I'm leading or, doing whatever, in my accomplishments. And so that summer, one of my leaders pulled me aside one day, and we're talking, and he shared this verse with me, and it's Paul in his letter to the Corinthians. This is in 2 Corinthians chapter 12. Paul says, "But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore I will boast all the more gladly of my weakness, so that the power of Christ may rest upon me." So he shared that verse with me, and talking, he was like, okay, you are great, you're very capable, but honestly, I don't care if you're strong. He's like, I care that Christ is strong, and Christ in you is what makes you strong. And it really hit me, because I was like, okay, Lord, here I am, feel like I'm doing all these great things, and if I'm not glorifying you and making your strength known through my weakness, then what's the point? Why are we even, at the end of the day, what's the point? So that really impacted me, and going forward, I think that God really taught me how to depend on him in all of these things. And yes, we can serve and be involved in church or ministries or whatever, and missions, and it's good. It's not bad things, it's good things, but there's still grace even for the good girl like me, and I still need him and need to depend on him in that. So that just really impacted me, and it's something that I've carried on, and I still don't do perfectly. I still often have days where I'm like, look at me, I'm great, doing good. And so, but God continues to remind me that no, it's my strength you need, and it's only because of my work on the cross that you are able to walk that out in grace. So that's my story. Thanks for listening, and thanks for being here this morning.